Continuing in the series, we've created a quote, converted that into a sales order, and now we're going to create an invoice. The great thing about Juno Orders, it's an integrated system that works really well together, so creating an invoice is super easy. Once you've got the line items the way you want, you've created the shipment, you can just come here and run this billing trigger, which kicks off the invoice creation process. You could alternatively create an invoice going this route. However, we recommend using the billing trigger because what it does, it looks at a couple of fields here. Number one, it looks at this payment field, purchase order. If this is anything other than purchase order, like credit card, it will create a payment that will match the amount paid. So as an example, let's say the customer already paid for this order, which would be $17, and they paid with a credit card. What that would do, when you run the trigger, it would automatically create an invoice and then a payment against that invoice so you know that it's paid. If you were to just go through the invoice creation process this way, it's just going to create the invoice and then you would have to go ahead and manually create the payment. In addition, if it was a purchase order and the amount paid had been zero, you ran the billing, it would create the PDF, and the PDF would have a balance due. In this case, there's going to be no balance due because it shows that the payment method was credit card and the amount paid was matches the amount of the sales order. So let's just go through and we'll run the billing trigger. So then it changes immediately to closed, as you can see. Then you come down here and it shows that the invoice was created. When we click on the invoice, you'll see down here that a payment was also created in that same amount. So also when we create an invoice, it automatically assigns the doc template, PDF template, and email template. So those two things combined means that the customer, a PDF copy of this invoice was created and it was emailed through the billing trigger directly to the customer, so they got a copy of it. So we'll go preview PDF. So it's going to look just like this. This is what the customer received. It's got all the relevant details, their PO number, the fact that it was paid with credit card, and that the balance due is zero. Remember before what I was saying, that if it was a purchase order and no payment had been made, then the balance due would equal the total of the invoice. It should also be noted that another great feature of Juno Orders and around this issue of creating invoices and sending them, in the account here, you'll have the ability to set up like a person or an email address that is the accounts payable. Frequently, business to business, you're dealing with a company that has an accounts payable email address. So in addition to sending this person the email with the PDF attachment of the invoice, you'll send that accounts payable person the same email as well. It's just a handy feature that comes in and saves you time and makes sure that the right person every time at that account is receiving a copy of that invoice.